What's going on YouTube? A Delicious Mango here with 5 quick tips to help step your Catalyst gameplay up to the next level. She is a really interesting legend. I think everyone should give her a shot in trying her out. She's got a lot of interesting abilities, and the way you can use her actually can help dictate fights a lot more than I anticipated when she first came out. So without further ado, let's get into it. My first tip is what you just saw right there. Spam that door passive. Her passive barricade allows you to block off doors in this situation, and it is actually so strong. It goes up really quickly, as you see, and it kind of acts like a Wattson fence. It's a great deterrent and forces teams to go around those doors unless they want to kick 4 times to knock it down. It is actually way stronger than I ever anticipated it being when the patch notes first came out, when we got to see her trailer. This passive barricade is an excellent tool for splitting up enemies, and I highly suggest you learn how to use it. Which is my second tip, understanding how the passive works, as I explain it right here on this Twitch clip.
Okay, so here we go. Your explanation of how Catalyst doors work. You can still open and close your own doors from any side, but other teams cannot. If I want to kick it down, it takes 4. 4 each. It says rebuildable in 2 seconds. If I want to rebuild where there's no doors, I hold Y. I cannot actually open this door, but if I press X, it'll break the whole thing down so I can walk through it. Or, if you're an enemy, you have to kick it twice, like a normal door. And that is how Catalyst door abilities work.
With 2 tips for the passive out of the way, it's time to move on to the tactical. My third tip is understand how this ability usually works. Typically in gameplay, this ability is better for cutting people off and sealing off doorways than it really is anywhere else. As you can see in this fight, I jumped into the doorway and threw it through so they couldn't actually get through the door easily. They would take 15 damage if they ran into it, or they would have to, just get slowed by the ability. It's a spike trap that slows enemies very briefly and does 15 damage per second, so you can stand in it and continuously take 15 damage. Enemies are going to know that, and so they're going to try and avoid it. The second thing I would say is, even if you're out in the open, consider using her tactical on the edge of your walls. Spread out your walls just a little bit. A lot of people will run right around the edge of the ultimate wall, and they won't actually think about the traps down low, especially because her ultimate is so loud. Her tactical is loud too. Truthfully, all of her abilities have a lot of audio cues to them, but you can use her tactical on the sides of your walls to give it a little extra range that people might not be expecting, and you'll be able to trap a few more people than anticipated. Tip number 4, staying on her passive, and this is a quick one. Her tactical, when lined up properly, will actually go under and through doorways. So your tactical can be on both sides of the door at the same time. Really consider trying that out. It's really strong to push people off of your door, and then you can barricade it. Her tactical and her passive go so well together. The 5th and final tip, we gotta talk about her ultimate. I would seriously consider spamming this ultimate when you get the chance. The recharge time is relatively quick, and you can get some really good utility out of it. As you see in this clip, most people, they're not really able to tell where you are around this ultimate because the audio of the wall is so loud, so you have no visual on enemies, and you really have no audio. It's a decently strong ultimate. I don't think this is the best part of her kit by any means, but it's pretty useful. Couple that with the fact that if you run through her ultimate, you're going to be blinded and slowed for a while. Not a true necessarily blind feeling, but your field of view is going to get very small and everything's going to go black and white. You really want to avoid running through that ultimate. It's a pretty strong deterrent as well. If I had to quickly describe how you should be using this character, it should be as a deterrent. She is a great deterrent. She's able to block off doorways and force teams to move around to different areas that they didn't want to travel to. Her spike traps do a great job at defending certain doorways as well if you can't actually get to them and reinforce them. And the wall, as you can see here, can be used as a gibby bubble, can block off views. It can really lead to some great kills. She is an excellent deterrent. She is totally a defensive legend, and I think you'll find a lot of use out of her in your games. Let me know if this helps down in the comments. If you made it all the way to the end, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed, and I'll catch you all in tomorrow's video.